What's happening, everybody? Steve here. Knowledge is the power. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about taking ownership in your job, in your life, in your relationships. Taking ownership is a term or a phrase that is used a lot, but I really don't think a lot of people understand what it actually means. If you've ever been in any type of situation and things aren't going the way they're supposed to or the way you would like them to, it's so easy to point the finger and say it's his fault, or this is the reason why, or that's the reason why. Nobody ever wants to look from within on what they can do. Now, this isn't saying you're put in situations that are easy, that sometimes life isn't fair. Sometimes things happen that you have no control over. That's never going to go away. You're always going to be put in unfair situations. You're always going to be put in predicaments that may seem impossible to overcome. And hell, you're going to be put in some situations that are impossible. But how you show up to those and the things that you do and the words that you say and the posture that you maintain and the emotions that you control all go into play in the things that you do, the things that you can take ownership of. If you've ever been in a relationship and things aren't going so well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, you're doing this, this, and this. This is causing a problem. Right? Why not reverse that first? If you have grievances with somebody, if you have a problem with a situation, and it doesn't have to be a relationship, it could be anything. Why don't you start with yourself first? Think about that. Start with yourself first. Because did you do everything possibly that you could think of that you know to do? Did you do that, and did you execute that well? What are some of the things that you said or did that you should have done differently? Or maybe not done at all to create an issue? It's hard. It's hard to point the finger before you know that you're 100% on point with everything. Rarely we are ever 100% on point with everything. Perfect example in sales. I've been in sales and leadership for 20 years. One of the first things that happens when a goal isn't met, or a quota isn't achieved, or a KPI isn't there, it's their fault or their fault or their fault because they didn't say this, or this, or they didn't do that, or that. Nobody ever says, well, I should have done this, or maybe I could have done this, or man, I should not have said that. I should have controlled my emotions a little bit better. And you think about that. What does that mean? Anytime something happens, it's going to create a response out of you. Good, bad, or neutral. When something happens, you're going to respond to it. That's how us humans work. Well, when we respond in a certain way, the person that you're dealing with is also going to have a same type of response, good, bad, or neutral. But their response is going to be based off of your response. You get that? Let's let that sink in. Your response is going to build the foundation and trigger whatever type of response they have. So if you're sitting with a customer and the customer is expecting one thing, and as soon as they ask for that one thing, or as soon as they bring that one thing up, your whole energy goes from positive to negative. That just that alone, you don't even got to say one word. Just that emotion shift, that energy shift is going to create problems for you right out the bat. Customer is then going to become very uneasy. They're going to be very concerned. And now you're going to start fighting an uphill battle. And then based on the situation and your negative energy, it's going to compound and it's going to compound and it's going to create a roadblock that you can't get by. But as soon as that fail happens, it's going to be somebody else's fault. So understand that taking ownership of that doesn't make it okay that somebody might have said something they shouldn't have had, or somebody might have done something they shouldn't have, and you're there to clean it up. You're there to fix it. It doesn't mean that it's okay. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be put in a situation that's going to be impossible to overcome either. The sad reality is that we create most of the problems ourselves with our negative energy. We create most of the issues that we face because of our inability to take ownership. As humans, it's human nature not to be the one at fault. It's ingrained in our head that when I'm doing something, it's perfect. I don't care what you say. I'm doing everything I should. And if I don't achieve my goal, then it's somebody else's fault. It's not mine. No. That thought process has to end. You have to retrain your mind to understand. If you truly know in your mind that you have influence on any situation, you are automatically going to achieve what you set out to. Whether that's in a relationship, whether that's in a job, in a career, whether that's with raising your kids, in a friendship, whatever the case may be, once you realize that in your head, you will see such a positive change in your life. If you're struggling in sales and you're having a hell of a time, take a look at yourself first. Truly ask yourself, truly examine yourself. It'll make a huge impact in your life. If you're having a problem in a relationship, look at yourself first. Find out what you can do better. Find out what you can stop doing. Find out what you need to start doing. At the end of the day, before you should be ever allowed to point a finger and say it's somebody else's fault, you need to be 100% certain that you're perfect. And guess what? Not one of us are. There's always something that you can do better. There's always something that you can change that can make a difference. So guys, I really wanted to share this with you. A couple things happened to where I really felt like that I needed to talk about this today. Taking ownership is a huge step. It's a misunderstood concept. It's a misunderstood thought process. But once you understand it, once you accept it, you will begin to see things improve dramatically. 100% guaranteed. Own your life, own your career, own your relationships. If you don't like something, start with yourself. Fix it, change it. It will get better. All right, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about today. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching. I will have more back at you real soon. Thanks, guys.